subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Took him the 9 ounces. Gave it to him. I was done.
Man, I wish your brother was mic'd up because I would have asked him something, but I know I ain't gonna be able to get it on here.
I was done.
Are people around you? Because the next day, like, are they looking for you on the block or what?
I went crazy. My homeboys thought I had went crazy. My homeboys thought I had lost my mind. Then the other half of my partners, they say he faking. He got to be faking. He got to be. This can't be real. Maybe he just faking. It's some kind of front. So I didn't know nothing but hustling, and it had gotten so bad for me. So bad for me. I had no money. I had no money. And I refused to go back to the streets. So when I was living with Scarface at the time, this was 93.
He's already Scarface.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember sitting in his studio. I had a newborn son that was born in 92. My son Rashad. He's right over there. I was so depressed because I couldn't see him because I didn't have no money. Because I was broke. I had no money. You know, when you're selling Final Call newspapers, you're only getting 30 cents off the paper. You sell it for $1, you get 30 cents. I ain't got enough money to take care of me, let's known him. So I really couldn't see him. I was a failure to my own son. And I remember sitting in Scarface's studio, and I was so depressed. And I said to myself, man, I'm gonna get somebody to front me a package. And I'm gonna give it to some brothers in the hood, let them just sell it for me. I ain't gotta sell it, just let them sell it for me. And then there's a voice in my mind said, there's so many snitches out there, Quan, soon they get bust, they gonna snitch on you. And then you go embarrass the Nation of Islam, and you go embarrass Minister Farrakhan. They gonna use you as an example that it ain't real, it's fake. And I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? And I got so depressed sitting in the room, I thought about suicide. I thought about suicide because I was so poor. And I remember saying to myself, suicide is against the religion. If I commit suicide, I'll go straight to hell and burn it for eternity. That's what we taught in Islam. You commit suicide, you burn forever in eternity. And we're taught in Islam, however you commit suicide, when you go to hell, you'll do that over and over and over and over again, killing yourself in hell for eternity. So I was depressed. I was like, God, what am I gonna do, man? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? The next day, a storm came through Houston. I believe it was Allison. A great flood that came through Houston. I went to the mosque, and Brother Minister Robert Muhammad, who's now Abdul Halim Muhammad, said, take some brothers, go into the community, and see if the elderly people can get out their homes, because they was all flooded in, they couldn't get out their homes. So I went and we're working with the brothers, packing old people out of their homes. So this older, bright-skinned brother, he wasn't that old, he was kind of a young man, but he was older than me. So, young man, come here. Say, come help me take this old man in a wheelchair out the house. So I told the brothers, come with me, we helped him out. We went to the next house, I helped the same bright-skinned man take me to the house. And he said to me, say, brother, I like how you move. He said, I like how you work. He said, what's your name? I said, my name is Quanell X. I'm a member of the Nation of Islam. I'm a follower of Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he said, you got a job? I said, no, sir. He said, here, take my card. Come by my office, I'm gonna give you a job. So I look at the card. It said State Representative Ron Wilson. I didn't know what a state representative was. So I take the card with me, take it to the mosque, show it to Brother Robert. He said, oh yeah, brother, you show up and get that job. 23, I show up and get the job. Didn't know how to fill out the application. May God rest her soul in peace. A lady named Miss Melva. She helped me fill out my first application. Did all the writing for me. And she said, you got a child? I say, yes. I said, his name is Quentin Rashad. I named my son Quentin after my little brother Toast. So I named him Quentin because he was born shortly right after Toast was murdered. And my first check was $785. And I hadn't seen my son in months. I hadn't seen him in months. And I called his mom. I said, I want to see Rashad. She said, you got some money? I said, yeah, I got some money, and I got a health insurance card for him, too. She said, come on. I went by the house. I hadn't seen Rashad, and it had been months, man, months. But my fear was he would forget me, that he wouldn't remember me. Because the last time I had talked to him on his grandparents' house, they had like a mailbox slot on the house where you put the mail through the slot, and it falls on the living room floor. So I knelt down, I opened that box, and I remember telling Rashad, don't forget your daddy, don't forget your dad, I'll be back one day. I remember telling him that. And through that little mailbox hole. And so I get my first check. I had a health insurance card for him, and I had $500. And I went over there, and I gave his mom the $500, and I gave her the health insurance card. Then Rashad, he come out the back. He was with his Aunt Beverly at the time. And he was chewing on the bottle top. And he looked up at me, and I looked at him. And I'm thinking to myself, man, he don't even know me. And he stood there for a second, looked at me. Then he ran and jumped in my arms. He remembered his father. But I say all of that to say this. A lot of brothers are so afraid to leave the streets that they won't trust God. They're so afraid that they will not survive, that they won't truly trust solely in God. God allowed me to go through extreme poverty when I left the streets. And how I survived was I would go to Quincy, and I would get $5 from him. And I tried not to go every day because I didn't want to be a burden to him. So I would go to him kind of like every other day and get $5. I would go to Burger King. At that time, Whoppers were 99 cents. And I could buy 2 Whoppers for $2.14. I couldn't get cheese because cheese was 40 cents a slice extra. So I couldn't get cheese, I couldn't get fries, all that was marked up. So I would buy the 2 Whoppers, and I would take another 79 cents from the 5 and go to Kroger, and I'd buy a BK 2-liter soda. That 2-liter soda would last me 4 days. And so I was eating 1 meal a day because in the Nation of Islam, we were taught to eat 1 meal a day. So I ate that 1 Whopper, saved the Whopper for the next day. $5 I could eat for 2 days. I could eat for 2 days off $5. And I still had $1 and change left. I could put that in the gas tank. And that's how I survived, man, for like 2 years before I got that job at Ron Wilson's office.
Donnie Houston.